Well, good evening, everybody. By the way, can we start by giving the service folks who are here a round of applause? Thank you for taking such good care of us tonight. Does that give me like an extra glass of wine at some point? And Joyce, thank you for 5 years of emceeing this, and to you, Paul, and to all the members of the board and the folks on the dinner committee. Congratulations on all the progress and all the work and the success of putting that magnificent ship back where it belongs in the water. And I look forward to the photos and to the stories that come about as a result of the sale on Friday. And I said to Bill Carey, and I were talking about it, and Bill said, you know, it's gonna go out and over to Castle Island and be back by noon. And I said, what if there's no wind? And Bill said, there'll be tugboats. So all is taken care of, everything's been thought of, but what a wonderful and magnificent statement to make on the 220th birthday of the USS Constitution. So I thought what I might say tonight, and I'm going to tell just a couple of quick stories and offer one thought on the theme of this year's event. I remember, our oldest son is 26 years old, and I remember when he was about 6, I was flipping through a picture book with him. It was a U.S. history picture book, and there were a bunch of pictures in there of very old photos of men who fought in the Civil War. And he said, you know, Dad, they all kind of look the same. And I said, that's right, son, because they're all wearing the same uniform. And he said, well, how do you tell who's who? And I said, well, the North is in the blue and the South is in the gray. And he said, but I can't tell who they are individually. I said, that's right. You're not supposed to be able to tell who they are individually. The fact that they're wearing those uniforms, which is a military tradition that's continued to this day, is a statement about unity. It's a statement about whoever you are, whatever your race, whatever your gender, whatever your political opinions are, wherever you're from, whatever your background is, that all gets checked at the door when you put on that uniform. When you put on that uniform, you're part of a team. And your job, your mission, your oath is to serve that team. And that team stands to serve the United States of America. Now, I'm sure he had no idea what the hell I was talking about as I wandered through all that. But I thought of that story as I thought of tonight, because the theme of this year's gathering is unity. And I can't think of a more important time to talk about and think about what that word means than now. Now, those folks have put on that uniform since the beginning of the Republic. They know what unity meant and what it means. Anybody I've ever talked to who served in the military, including Tom Kelly, no matter what they did or what their exploits were or what the stories were that they brought home that I heard from others, they all said the same thing. If it hadn't been me, it would have been the person next to me. I just happened to be the one. No one appreciates and understands what it means to be part of a team the way the people who wear that uniform understand it, especially those who end up on the field of combat, where your life is literally in the hands of those you serve with. And I think about that a lot as I watch some of the stuff that passes for political discourse and discussion these days. How would the men and women in uniform feel about that? The answer is most of the time we won't know, because they're focused on service and freedom and security. And they leave the politics to the politicians. But perhaps no other living, breathing article of faith exists in our little community here than the USS Constitution and the men and women who serve it and wear that uniform. They represent those ideals that have been carried from generation to generation in a country that has had its ups and downs, but I think by almost anybody's definition, tries to get better and tries to build a sense of what it means to be an American with every new generation. Now, as the son of a Republican dad and a Democrat mom who canceled each other out for 60 years and were married for 62 before she died, I grew up in a household where we get the fact that there's more than one point of view out there. But in the end, my parents, man, they love this country. And who it aspires to be, what it tries to stand for and represent, and accepts that warts and all, it will fail and it will fall, and it will stand and it will rise again. Which brings me to my second word, which is history. George Santayana always talked about how those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. Well, there's a flip side to that, which is those who pay attention to history will see that some of this stuff has happened before, will happen again, and one way or another, the great people of the United States of America will find a way to play through it. Because underneath it all, we are, in fact, the children of those men and women who started with this very high ideal about what it means to build a democracy that's based on freedom and opportunity. And I truly believe that one way or another, amidst our foibles and our follies and our ups, we will find a way to make it great. And an organization like this, which tells a story of why our history matters today and every day, is so important. 525,000 visitors. All I could think when I heard that was, people will come, Ray. People will come. And they'll come because they get what this means. And they understand that it's about more than just another stop on a tourism trail. And the reason they get that is because they understand that underneath it all, this is what we're supposed to be about. This is who we're supposed to sit on the shoulders of. This is the dream that we're supposed to be part of maintaining and embellishing as we go forward. Let me just say in conclusion that you all carry a magnificent torch. It's a symbol that stands for all the things we hope to be: service, courage, bravery, unity, sacrifice. And the traditional and never-ending hunt for what it means to be part of a great country, a welcoming country, a country filled with good people who make mistakes and try to get better. And that's why people come. God bless and have a great night.